Advanced plyometric exercises. The triple jump.
During this exercise, work all jumps with the cut foot technique, making sure that the ankle is fully extended on each jump. Prepare each landing of the jumps by flexing the foot for quick cutting when the foot is planted. Before the first jump, slightly lean forward to gain torso movement, then step out, landing on a flexed leg. The leg should flex 4 to 6 inches. Allow the torso and hips past the ankle 16 to 20 inches before extending the leg. The lead leg is brought past the other leg slightly before the power leg passes it and becomes the jump leg. Repeat the second jump on the same power leg, concluding the jump sequence when the lead leg advances with a 4 to 6 inch flexion and the torso is allowed 10 inches past the ankle, extending into the final jump. Land last on both ankles, depressing the toes to stop. The arms will force the hips forward, not allowing height, but a forward level jump. None of the 3 jumps should rise the hips over 6 to 8 inches. It is very important to maintain the erect, flat back position throughout the jumping sequence. Use the double arm rotation technique, only reduce the arm circles because of the lack of forward speed. Drive the arms forward at hip level, not allowing them to rise during the jump.
Drop from a plyometric box, then over a cone.
Start this exercise by placing a cone about 2.5 to 4.5 feet from the box. Begin with a plyometric box 0.5 meters high, then increase. The same concept with cone selection, moving from 10 to 16 inch cones, then increasing. Step off the box, landing on flexed ankles with both feet parallel, shoulder width apart. Contact the surface with the ball of the foot. Do not allow the heel to reach the surface. When springing upwards, flex the ankles. Flex the knees about 5 to 7 inches before landing, loading up the quads for the jump. As the ankles touch the surface, extend the legs without delay, flexing the legs after clearing the cone. When stepping off the plyo box, the hips and torso are 4 to 6 inches in front of the ankles. This will establish the forward movement of the body for clearance of the cone. Use a flat back with a slight forward tilt of the body. Use a double arm drive movement, except have your arms behind the hips as you step off the plyo box. When contact with the surface is achieved, drive the arms forward and upward.
Drop from a 0.60 meter to a 1.1 meter plyo box over a barrier 28 through 42 inches high.
This technique is the same as the cone jump, except the degree of body stress is maximum. If the technique is excellent, add another barrier spaced at about 3 to 4 feet from the first barrier. The first barrier is spaced about 3 to 5 feet from the plyo box. One note, you need to quickly reload the double arm action for clearance of the second barrier.
Drop from a plyometric box, land, jump up on a second plyo box.
For this exercise, you can add a third and fourth plyo box, jumping off the top of the boxes to the surface, then jumping back up to the next box. Work for the cut foot technique on each jump. Your feet should be shoulder width apart. Land each surface contact with leg flexion of 4 to 6 inches at the knees. Work quickly, repeating the leg extension on contact surfaces. Then pull your knees up when jumping back upon plyo boxes. Drive the hips forward, then upwards on each jump sequence. Maintain an erect profile with the torso. Limit your forward tilt because the boxes are spaced on 2.5 to 4.5 feet apart. Use the quick double arm rotation movement for each jump. Do not drive up past the lower chest when jumping from the top of the plyo box. It will cause a gain of vertical height that will make landing and recovery jumps very difficult.
Box bounding with the same leg.
For this exercise, space the boxes 2.5 to 5 feet apart. Start with boxes 0.3 meters to 0.5 meters in height. Work from the jump surface to the tops of the plyo boxes. Work off the flexed ankle position when striking the box surface and the jumping surface. Use a 5 to 7 inch flexion when on the jump surface, and a 4 to 6 inch flexion off the plyo boxes. Drive forward and vertically on each jump. Use the lead leg for balance during each jump. The athlete's hips should be advanced off the ankle by 4 to 7 inches when either on the jump surface or on top of the plyo boxes. Keep a flat back that's in the erect position during all jumps. Work short, quick double arm rotations, raising the hands to shoulder height when jumping up on the plyo boxes, but when descending, raise them forward.
Box drop sprint start.
Start this exercise with boxes 0.4 meters in height and advance to 1.10 meter boxes. Make sure you alternate power legs. Sprint for only 5 strides. When landing on a power leg and for the following 3 strides, make certain the ankle is flexed and cut. Always bring the lead leg directly under the knee with a flexed ankle. When the power leg strikes the surface after the drop, allow a flexion of 6 to 9 inches. This is critical for a time allowance so the torso and hips can move past the power leg. When the power leg strikes the surface, begin to bring the lead leg forward very quickly and sprint the next 5 strides. As the power leg begins to extend, drive the hips forward. This will keep the torso in a semi-upright position. Maintain a very flat back position. As you drop off the box, begin a forward lean, reaching 12 to 16 inches. When the power leg strikes the running surface, begin your extension. Start the drop with both arms extended in front and along the side of your hips. When the power leg strikes the running surface, drive the opposite arm behind the hip 20 to 24 inches. At the same time, drive the lead arm, the same as the power arm, forward to make certain both arms are extended to the maximum. Do not allow the lead arm to rise above shoulder level. In conclusion, for increases in muscle force, power, plus the improvement in high-speed running efficiency, we have these simple recommendations. For depth jumping, a height of 0.8 meters is recommended for maximum speed yield, while a height of 1.1 meters will produce the maximum improvement in dynamic strength. Also, use only 2 training sessions per week. Remember to avoid doing more than 40 jump-offs per workout. If you are working with beginners, do only 20 to 30 jumps per workout. Remember, a careful evaluation of each person's physical ability and endurance is needed before a sound judgment can be determined.